Just want to make this quick video in the middle of my workout because I just heard that Robinhood is releasing a 3% annual percentage yield on all their checking and savings accounts they're going to be opening up. This is huge news for the company, especially 3%. In our day and age right now, 3% is ridiculously high. I mean, back in the 80s and the 90s, 3% was relatively low. But if you check now, all our bank accounts, go to your savings account that you probably have right now. If you have one at Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, it's like 0.03%, non-existent. And that's why in most of my videos, I'm telling you, switch to an online savings like ally.com that pays a 2% APY. But when I heard about Robinhood paying 3% for all checkings and savings, now I had to check and look into it further to make sure this is not a gimmick. This is not a sign up and we'll give you 3% on your first $5,000 and then after that you get nothing. No loops and holes. This is 3% APY on all balances, all balances. You could have 100K in there, and for having $100,000 sitting in your checkings, you're getting $3,000 a year. Risk free, paying absolutely nothing. Now I did check to make sure, is it FDIC insured by the government? It is not. It's SIPC insured, which is essentially the same thing. The difference is FDIC insured covers your bank account up to $250,000. SIPC insured covers your brokerage account up to $500,000 with up to $250K in cash. So essentially you're getting $250,000 covered still. So for every account you have, just have less than $250K in there. I'm sure if you have that problem, you know you'll have multiple accounts. Don't ever have more than $250,000 in any bank account. FYI, if you didn't know that already, but just to make that clear. And it's essentially a risk-free investment. 3%, that's basically matching inflation or even beating it by a little bit. According to the standards, we're at like 2-point-something%. But come on, let's be real. It's more like 3, 4, even 5%, right? We don't know what the true inflation numbers are. Look at the prices of everything around you. It's always going up. But still, 3% to fight against that is awesome. I love this. I'm happy to get into it. I signed up right away when I found out. I'm on the waiting list. I'm like position 200-something thousand. Maybe I'll throw a screenshot up on here. I checked before making this video. It's around 450,000 people on the wait list now. And I think it's only gonna get bigger. And this is a big deal for all the big banks. Either all these banks are gonna have to step up, give us all a better interest rate, or more likely than not, everybody's going to be jumping to Robinhood, jumping ship to a higher APY. The only scary thing I see with having your money in that Robinhood bank account is that it's going to be so easy for you to trade, and you might get tempted to pull out some of your savings, some of your money that's not meant to be invested, and start buying stock. But for your regular brokerage account, if you trade on Robinhood already, this is a benefit to you because, like I always say, have at least 10% in cash whenever you're ready to invest and deploy those soldiers. Whenever like a stock crashes and there's blood on the streets, you got your soldiers to deploy and catch those stocks at a super deal. Now they're getting 3% while they wait. So that's even better. So while you're waiting for a super deal, while you're waiting for a market crash, you're getting your nice 3% APY. Market crashes, your bank account is right there with Robinhood. I don't know how it's going to be configured yet, but hopefully I would assume that you would be immediately accessible to your funds to deploy into investments. This is just going to be awesome. Like, this is ridiculous. How are they even giving us 3%? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure all the other big banks are really angry about this. I'm sure they did not want this to happen, but oh well. That's why there's competition. That's what makes America great, right? That's what makes the world great. That's what makes business great. Force the other competitors to give us better options, right? On the consumer end, us, the retail investors, this is great for us. This is great news. Hopefully the other banks step up, give us better APYs. Just 5 years ago, keep this in mind though, 5 years ago when Robinhood started, they were nothing. And then they gave us free trading. And then now they're getting into the banking industry and they're worth around $5 billion right now. $5 billion. If this is successful and they're giving everyone a 3% APY, a 3% APY, they're gonna start killing these banks off. They're gonna go from a 5 billion to 10, 15, 20 billion market cap. Who knows, like when they go public, if I could invest in Robinhood, I probably would, but it's still private. Unless you know somebody up there, someone on the top of the food chain, you're not getting any shares of Robinhood stock. But I just thought this was interesting. I don't know if any of you watching heard about this. If you haven't, go to Robinhood and sign up. I have a link in my description where if you sign up through Robinhood, through that link, you'll get a free stock, I'll get a free stock, but you don't have to use that link. You can just sign up for Robinhood on your own and do this if you don't want to use my link. Doesn't matter. But the point is, there's 3% APY out there. I hope you guys are as excited as I am because That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, there are some things to look out for. You can't just jump ship. Is Robinhood even a good platform? I've been using them for the past 3 years trading stocks. I'd say it's pretty good for trading. I've heard some complaints when it comes to options. I don't know if I would use them as my source for options trading, just because I've heard some options don't execute. People were losing money, a lot of complaints about that. I've had a friend lose some money and he tried to contact support. Robinhood did not want to respond, but they're saying with this new bank release, they're gonna give out 24/7 customer support. Let me adjust this thing. 24/7 customer support, which should be mandatory, because if you have like Bank of America or anything, 24/7 you can reach those, you can reach anyone, you can call up any of your banks. Unless it's a small credit union, you can most likely contact anybody because it's your money. So if Robinhood doesn't have good service where you can reach them 24/7, I don't know if I would do that. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Just wanted to make a quick update, let you guys know what's going on. If you haven't heard about it already, get on that waiting list. All right, see you guys in the next video.